Good day, good day, good day. Oh, I need a mustache trim. Good day, good day, good day. And welcome to another talk experience, my life experience in Korea, my experience in Korea, right? So the last one was a bit emotional. The last video was a bit emotional because someone did something out of the blue and they didn't know how much that meant to me. Mr. John, if you're watching this, and right now, we're still in Jochiwon at Jochiwon University. And there's a couple of things, like with the end of this certain chapter, we're probably nearing the end of this chapter. I think this is the last video I'm going to make on Jochiwon, so I better get to the point really damn quickly. There's a lot of things that happened while I was at Jochiwon. I didn't go out on Sundays. I was tired and everything, and I didn't do the cultural stuff that they wanted us to do. I just wanted to relax and, somewhere get a beer and all of that. And I just didn't want to do. I'm not a social guy. I'm an introvert, as I've told you. Now, there's a couple of things that happens with my particular brand of introvertism. Like I told you before, if you don't invite me to come over or sit next to you or join you at a table, I probably won't do that. But there's another part of it, right? Where 90% of the social interactions that I don't have, I regret not having them. You know what I mean? For example, I wish I had spoken more to someone just because they were pretty damn awesome people, to someone named Audrey and Joseph. And what was that guy's name? I think he's also a pharmacist now. Wait. There's a photo of him. Jerry. Yes. Yeah, Jerry. How can I forget Jerry? And there's a lot of people. I wish I spoke more with Bethany and had hung out more with Callum or spoke more to him. Callum, also another awesome dude. Wish I had spoken more. As a matter of fact, wish I had spoken more to Christian. So there's a bit of regret tied to this, but let's continue on with the beautiful, beautiful side of things. Let me just see who the hell. Oh, that guy. What's his name? You know that. He's not here. He's not tagged in this. Wait, hold up. Yeah, he's definitely not tagged in this. A smaller looking American Korean kid that was very loud on the bus. And I kind of forgot his name, but I wish we had spoken more. Like when I see his face, I'm like, you! I want to speak to you more. I wish we hung out more. But let's continue on with the beautiful side of things. Let's not hammer on the negative side of things. So some of the standout moments, I've already mentioned one in the last video of Jochiwon, but the others was my talks with David. Now, there were parts that they were on every floor or every second floor. There was a smoker's area. And the one closest to me is where the main guy, the guy that interviewed me, where the main guy also used to smoke. He stopped smoking now because he's gotten LASIK. But anyway, and I would go down there and we would sit and talk. And the cool bit, the standout moments of those things is it was literally, and this is why I like talking to people one-on-one, right? Because that's where you're truly yourself. So I'm standing there smoking, and he pitches up, and he's like, "Hey there, Zaffa." He used my real name, obviously. And I'm like, "Hey, how are you doing?" He's like, "No, I'm fine." And I'm like, "But how are you really doing?" He's like, "Yeah, it's been a hectic couple of weeks." And he's never told me like secrets or anything, but he's like, "Yeah, it's been busy and some stuff happened." And I'm like, "You know what? Don't tell me about it. Let's just continue on talking." And he's like, "But listen." And the one question, and this is a question I'm going to get asked again in the future, in a future story. He looked at me and he's like, "You are very relaxed about everything. You are really like And he looked at me, he's like, I'm pretty sure this isn't your first time outside of your country. And I'm like, no, it isn't. I've been to England before, and to Namibia, which is technically still South Africa, but technically furthest away I've been at that point was England. And he's like, so you are okay with everything? And I'm like, yeah, I'm okay with everything. We continue on smoking. And, we talk a bunch of shit and everything. And he's like, are you stressed out? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, don't be. We had that connection, me and Mr. David, And it was beautiful, those moments. And he's probably not going to see these videos, but, I'm going to give a thanks to him wherever he is currently. And I know he pulled out all the stops to try and keep me in Korea for a third or fourth year. He was also part of the people that was trying to keep me there. So thank you to David. And now we get down to the meaty bit. So the one night, and I can tell you what night this was, because I've got photos of that night. It was on the 22nd of February. Now, this was like, what was the 22nd? All I know, it was like 1 or 2 days before we had to leave to our respective provinces. So this is the end of the training thing. Like, no, 1 or 2 days. Like, it was 5 days. Like, everything is coming down to this point, and we're getting ready to leave. And it was close to or on that Christian guy's birthday, I believe. Or the next day was his birthday. I can't remember. But it's something like that. So we go out to a bar called, I don't know. I can't remember. I didn't read Korean. People pointed me in that direction, and we went there and we started drinking. I think it was one of the bars I accidentally walked into and got a drink. Because the person looked at me like, beer, a mekju. I'm like, yeah. And they just gave me a mekju. The one person who recognized me there. And I'm like, oh, yeah, crap, they know. And, we get a little bit... I don't get drunk. But I could see, like, all the poor Americans, every foreigner, aside from the British people, one could see that they're getting drunk, every foreigner, aside from the British people and the people that's been in Korea for a while, the lecturers and everything, they kept their things and, younger people, younger adults, going a bit ham and everything. And we get back to Jochiwon University. And I'm like slightly buzzed, and I'm cool, and I'm okay with everything, and I'm, I wanted to drink more, but I know, we have a curfew at the university, so we had to be there before. They gave us, I think that night they gave us time until 10 or 11. So we had to be back by 11, I think. Maybe 12, I don't know. Coming from a country where I go home when the sun rises, when I used to drink a lot, that's when I stopped drinking. The sun is rising, let's continue on. But anyway, beside the point. So I'm sitting here, and we're all in a jovial mood, and we're having fun together, everybody. And I'm going downstairs to the basement of Jochiwon University, and everybody's hanging out there. It's like sort of a communal hangout room for everybody. And we're just chilling and talking and everybody. And all of a sudden, I feel this arm around me, and that Christian guy, that guy that I said, like, I wish I spent more time with and talking to him and everything, one of the people, and he started going, hey Zaffa, let's sing. And I'm like, okay. And I'm freaked out because I'm like, oh crap, he's going to sing something I don't know. And he bursts out in the South African anthem. Nkosi sikelele iAfrika, malupaga niswu pondolayo. Now I'm singing it, and I fall in with him, and we're singing it, and everybody looks at us because we're singing in a different language. 7 odd different languages, actually, for those of you who didn't know, or a couple of different languages, including Afrikaans and English. And I'm sitting there, and he's singing this word for word. Like, some points I'm like, I know what part of the anthem is like, oh crap, this is going to be difficult for him to pronounce. And I go a bit quiet, and he goes even louder. And I look at him, and I'm like, oh crap, he's actually pronouncing this. He's pronouncing the words correctly. And we're singing. We get to the English bit, and we get to the Afrikaans bit because it's Afrikaans, then English. Yes, it's Afrikaans, then English. And we get to the Afrikaans bit, and I'm like, oh, this is going to be fun to hear him try and pronounce. And he nailed it. He nailed every Afrikaans word. And I was kind of pissed off, but also fucking proud. Probably the only time I was proud of my country in my entire life. Oh, that's a bit harsh. I know, that's a bit harsh. But the only time I was proud in my country, because this Korean American dude, and I'm doing this because this guy is a tall man, right? Christian is a tall man, and I'm holding on to him sort of like more like this. I'm a tiny guy, okay? I'm about 3 feet. No, I'm not 3 feet, but you know what I mean. And he's singing all the words, and I'm like, oh man, this made me proud to be South African. One of the 2 times I was proudly South African was that, you know. That was the second time. And I was so freaking happy, like, ooh, this is... And I wish we could have hung out more, but I believe he left Korea just shortly after that to go back home. I believe. But if he had stayed, or if I wish I made contact, you know. We made contact afterwards, but I wish I made contact with him. And the next morning, I remember waking up, and there was a change in the air. Not a hungover change, but there was a change. Or one of the mornings I woke up, there's a change in the air. And I look over to my roommate's bed. His suitcases is halfway packed, almost packed. And I'm like, crap, we got to pack our suitcases. A place that we've called home, and we've met a bunch of people that I would have liked to have known, gotten to know better, but never got around to it. And we're packing our suitcases, right? And I go and stand, and I pack out a suitcase, and he's like, no, he's going to get breakfast and everything. I'm like, no, it's okay, dude, it's cool. And I look out the window. So how our room was set up, there's a window, right? Like I told you, the desk was a U shape. Now there was a window facing outside, and that window faced onto that building with the analog clock LED thing that I told you about in a previous video. And I looked out, and the sun was just about to rise, or the sun was busy rising. And I looked out, and I looked over that part of Korea. Probably, it was in the easternly direction, most definitely an easternly-ish direction. And I look over that part of Korea, and I see the sun rising, those yellow rays breaking slightly through the mist. This is winter, remember? Breaking slightly through, like there's a light mist fog covering everything. The sun rising. The clock. Very, like, you see lots of hills and stuff, but juxtaposed to that was the buildings and everything. And it became quiet. Either in my soul or whatever. And that was the first time that I experienced the land of the morning calm. I experienced that phrase. And I was like, everything's going to be okay. Everything is going to be okay. And in the next video, because this one's going long again, in the next video we'll talk about me leaving Jochiwon and going with the other people, the smaller group of people. And I'll see you in the next one. And thank you for watching. Holy crap, this is 15 minutes long. More than 15 minutes long. I'll see you in the next video. where we talk about me leaving Jochiwon and going to Jollabukdo, sorry, Johnbuk. I'll get my facts straight. Until the next one, thank you for watching. And for those of you from the TaLK program watching this, even if we haven't talked a bit, I want to say thank you for being a part of my experience. I'm going to stop before I cry. I'll see you in the next one.